ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. First of all, I would like to thank the organizing committee from Busat Islam, USM, and from Mabim. I am happy to be with you today to share with you some information about the situation in Palestine and the latest war in Gaza for the last 50 days during July, August. I would like to begin with a brief in the history of the conflict in Palestine, where I'm sure that all of you are aware about the history, and also a lot of people, many, especially the Muslim people, they are following the news from Palestine and Gaza. I'll just want to mention something that the conflict in Palestine started in 1948, where the Israeli occupation started occupying the Palestinian cities, and that was the origin of the conflict. Because sometimes people forget about the history and start evaluating the conditions in Palestine based on the current incidents, and some people they start claiming the Palestinian to initiate fighting. But if we want to know the truth, all the conflicts and problems started when the Israelis started occupying the Palestinian cities and chasing out the people from their houses, where we are talking about more than 5 million people who were chased out from their houses, and now they are staying in different countries like Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, and also in Gaza and West Bank. And as you see, in 1967, we left only with Gaza and West Bank, which is about 23% of the Palestinian territories. In 2012, you see in the West Bank, the situation is deteriorating because of the Israeli settlement. A lot of the Israeli settlement being built inside the Palestinian cities, which made the Palestinian territories to be less and less. If you want to talk about the situation, especially in Gaza, in terms of population, talking about 1.8 million Palestinians in Gaza, 70% of them are refugees. And as I mentioned, refugees means they are not originally from Gaza, they are from different cities in Palestine, and they were chased out from their houses in 1948 and 1967. The area of Gaza is 365 square kilometers, so we're talking about the highest density of population worldwide. We're talking about more than 3,800 persons over square kilometer. In terms of characteristic of the population, we're talking about 54% of the population under the age of 18. Here there is some important incidents that happened in Gaza for the last 8 years. We're talking since 2005 until now, where in 2005 the Israeli removed the settlement from inside Gaza, because previously they occupy more than 50% of Gaza land, where there is a lot of Israeli settlement inside Gaza. In 2005 they removed the settlement. In 2006 there was a general election. Hamas won the majority of the seats in the parliament. After that, the international community imposed a siege and economical sanctions on Gaza as a punishment for the Palestinians for electing Hamas to be the majority of, to get the majority of the seats in the parliament. As you see here in the map, the red points, it's all Israeli checkpoints from the north and the east of Gaza, where these checkpoints made it easy for the Israeli to control all the movement of people and goods from in and out Gaza. And you see also they monitor all the movement of ships from the Mediterranean Sea, and they control the movement of the fishermen to go. They allow only for 6 miles, and sometimes it's only 3 miles. So they control and monitor every movement of people and goods from inside and outside Gaza Strip. Okay, so when we are talking about the siege, we are talking about limitation of food. Means of Gaza need daily 600 trucks, they only allow 200 trucks. So you only get 1/3 of the needs of the Gazans. Very difficult procedure for people to leave Gaza. And no construction material, no raw material. Adding to that, in 2006, there was the first war in Gaza in June 2006. During that war in 2006, they destroyed the Gaza power plant, and they destroyed one bridge in middle of Gaza. They attacked a lot of houses, hundreds of people killed. Again in 2008, in 2008 and January, until 18th of January 2009, they attack Gaza again, and every time they have a different reason to attack Gaza. We are talking that time about more than 1,300 people killed and 5,300 people injured. The majority of the fatalities are among the civilians. As I mentioned, the siege means that import of most of construction raw material and spare parts banned, import of consumer goods and fuel restricted, movement of people largely banned, access to agriculture land and fishing areas increasingly limited. Where we notice here the buffer zone on Gaza border from the north and the east, the red line, you can see that they created a buffer zone from 0 to 1,500 meters, which is 17% of Gaza Strip, and 35% of Gaza agricultural land, where the farmers has no access to agricultural lands, and this affect the food production in Gaza Strip. As a result of the war in 2008, we are talking about 268 industrial establishment destroyed, and we are talking about more than, as a result of the war and the siege, the continuous siege, we are talking about more than 120,000 people who lost their jobs. We are talking about 61% of the household are food insecure, 80% of the people rely on the humanitarian aid to meet their basic needs. In terms of energy crisis, as we mentioned, there was a limitation on the bringing fuel to Gaza, either for transportation or for industry and for the power plant. So there was a cut-off of electricity more than 12 hours a day due to the shortage and the shortage in the energy because of the lack of fuel and attacking the power plant, the only power plant in Gaza. The challenge on the health system because of the siege, talking about impossibility to ensure medical equipment availability and proper maintenance, referral abroad subject to long permit processing, Medical staff largely prevented from sufficient upgrading of knowledge and skills. Means if you want to go for medical treatment outside Gaza, you have to apply for permissions, and mostly it will take a long time, and many people got rejected of getting their permissions, and a lot of people died because they cannot go outside Gaza for medical treatment. When we are talking about electricity, if you have no electricity, means you cannot switch on the pumps to get water, because cannot switch on the wastewater treatment plant to treat the wastewater, and as a result, we are talking about 50 to 80 million liters of untreated wastewater being disposed in the sea, and this creates a lot of health concern to the people. We are talking about 95% of the Gaza water resources is undrinkable. It's not safe for drinking. One of the main challenges is the housing need, where as a result of the war, a lot of houses being destroyed. There is no construction material, means that you cannot do the maintenance or rebuilding of the houses. In numbers, we are talking about natural growth 2007 to 2010, more than 68,000 units needed, while on the ground, the development is very slow because of the lack of raw material. And also talking about the development for schools, hospitals, new hospitals and schools to meet the needs of the people. It's very slow because of the lack of the raw materials. Okay, so we're talking about the second war in 2008. Again, there was another war in 2012. It lasted for 8 days, and more than 150 people killed, hundreds of houses destroyed. Again, in July 2014, they started the fourth war in Gaza since 2006. And if we want to talk about the reasons why they started the attack in 2014, there are a few reasons. The first one is because of the unity government in May 2014. The Israelis were unhappy because of the unity government between Fatah and Hamas, because the Israeli is more comfort while the Palestinians are divided, and it's easier for them to implement their policies. So this is one of the reasons. The second reason, the Israeli thought that after 8 years of siege, the Gazan people are weak, and it's the best time for them to attack Gaza and to destroy the capabilities of the resistance. So they started to create reasons to start the attack on Gaza. And they set few targets for the war. First, they said they want to stop the rockets from Gaza, but they failed to achieve any target, because first one, they said they want to stop the rockets. Previously, the range of the rockets was 75 kilometers, but now, in the latest war, the range is 160 kilometers. And when we are talking about 160 kilometers, means 5 million of the Israeli, they are in the range of the rockets, and they have to stay in a protective areas. Again, they said they want to destroy the tunnels, but they admit that it's difficult to figure out and recognize the tunnels. And even if they attack, the Israeli media said that within a few days, the resistance in Gaza can rebuild and can rehabilitate the tunnels. The third target, they said they want to attack Gaza from land. They started the operation. They deployed 80,000 soldiers. They start attacking Gaza from land, but they cannot step down in Gaza more than 1 kilometer. They lost 65 soldiers on the border, and 2 soldiers were kidnapped. So they failed to achieve any target of the war on Gaza. As a result of that, they start attacking the civilians. They kill more than 2,000 people. We're talking about more than 700 of them are women and children. They destroy more than 20,000 houses, either fully and partially. They attack hospitals, schools, masjid. They destroy more than 170 masjid. 70 of them are totally destroyed. And a few of the masjid are being sponsored by the Malaysian NGOs, like the one in Bet Hanun, but that was built by Mabim. And they attack more than 160 schools. Let's here see some of the photos for the destruction. See the destruction in one Palestinian neighborhood. There's an F-16 shell that was not exploded. Another house. This is one masjid before the attack. And this is after the attack. Again, another masjid. This is masjid before and after the attack. This masjid is in the Gaza city. Here, this is one kid was shot at the Gaza beach while he's playing. And these are 2 of my friends. One of them, he is a lecturer at IUG, and one working with the United Nations. 2 of them supposed to do their PhDs here in Malaysia. And even though he's working with the United Nations, they attack his car, and both of the brothers killed. And this is one of the Malaysian projects funded by, I think, Mabim. It was destroy agricultural greenhouses. And this school, Anak Yatim School in Gaza, was also bombed. Here there is an attack on a high-rise building in Gaza, 13th story. 300 people were staying in this building, and it was bombed. And The last few days of the war, they started attacking many high-rise buildings in Gaza just to put more pressure in the people of Gaza. Here also some of the destruction. I'll just show you the last video, which is about attacking the Islamic University of Gaza, where in 2008 they attacked the lab building and they destroyed 20 labs for science and engineering. And in this war, they attacked the Chancellor building and they destroy 1/4 of the building. And this is the attack. So the Israeli occupation, they tried for more than 50 days to attack Gaza, to destroy the capabilities of the resistance in Gaza, but they failed. They only succeeded to kill the civilians and to destroy the civilian homes. And even though they got all the military forces, all the support from international community, but they failed to achieve any target. And this is emphasized on the title for this day, that inshallah Gaza will not go down. I would like finally to thank again all of you for attending this talk, and I would like to thank all the Malaysian people for the continuous support, where there is a lot of Malaysian NGOs in Gaza that were sponsoring a lot of projects in Gaza. And the support from Malaysia is very, very special to the Palestinian because of even the geographical distance between Gaza and Malaysia. We're talking about thousands of miles, but still the caring and support from Malaysia is among the highest worldwide. Terima kasih. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.